Welcome back to the channel, guys. Finally, the wait is over. The Alienware X17 R1 laptop. We're going to be unboxing, setting up, and taking a look at the internals, and giving you our first-hand impressions of this very powerful but pretty pricey machine. We're also going to give you a sneak peek into some gameplay. This is the i7-11800 8-core processor, capable of speeds of up to 4.6 GHz with turbo boost. We got the 4K UHD screen with 500 nits brightness and a 120 Hz refresh rate. If you choose the FHD model, you can get up to 360 Hz refresh rate. We also got 32 GB of 3466 MHz XMP RAM. All right, let's do this. All right. You guys ready for this? Look at that. It's beautiful. Let's go ahead and take the plastic off, my favorite part. Wow, Alienware really does a great job with their boxes. I think it opens up like this. Wow, they got a magnetic box lid. Look at that. It's beautiful. Let's go ahead and take the plastic off the main piece. All right, let's put that to the side and see what else we got in the box. Our user manual. Got my Alienware stickers. I can put those on my car and show everybody how much of a nerd I am. Got your Alienware user guide. Gives you a little information on all your ports, but we'll take a look at that up close here in a little bit. And then your warranty, safety, and regulatory information. Put that back in there. And then it looks like we can take this box out, and inside, got another box. This is probably the power brick. Wow, this thing is massive. That is the biggest power brick that I've ever seen for a laptop. You can see it's a 330 watt-hour power brick. And yeah, it definitely looks like it can put out some power. And for reference, this is it next to my 240 watt-hour power brick from my Alienware M17. This looks like basically double the thickness of that power brick. So while the X17 is thin, the power brick is definitely not thin. And then the rest of your power cable here. I'm gonna keep this out because most likely the laptop is not charged. It's got a very smooth metal lid. Wow, that lid is beefy. For how thin the exterior is, this is probably the thickest next-gen laptop lid that I've ever felt. It's got very minimal screen flex. I'd say still about average screen wobble. Take off the little blanket. The model we got has a full mechanical keyboard. It definitely sounds a lot louder than my M17, but I really like the way this feels. But these presses just feel so much more confident. I am pretty impressed with how much key travel there is, especially considering how thin the laptop itself is. You can see the touchpad is a little bit smaller than my M17. They've completely removed the number pad and replaced it with what looks like either speakers or heat vents. You've got your media keys right here, and then we've got a 720p webcam that's compatible with Windows Hello. You can see they've pretty radically increased the size of the exhaust vents compared to previous Alienware models. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. You can see we've got the X17 on the top and the M17 on the bottom. Quite a bit more ventilation on the back of the M17 versus the X17. But when you go to the sides, the X17 has significantly more ventilation on the sides. And then on the back ends, we've got more of that same honeycomb ventilation on the backs. It looks like we've got a little bit more of an opening on the M17 over the X17, but the X17 actually has 4 fans. And we're actually gonna open this up and show you what that looks like here in a sec. But first, let's take a look at the ports. On the right side, you can see the only port that we've got is a headphone and microphone jack. And then on the left side of the computer, you can see that the only port that we've got is a power port, meaning pretty much all of our ports are on the back. We've got a Type-C Thunderbolt 4 port, or a USB 3.2 Gen 2 with power delivery, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port with power share, a killer E3100 RJ45 Ethernet jack, which by the way the X15 does not have, and another USB-C which can also power the laptop or act as a display port, and an HDMI 2.1 port which by the way is capable of 4K at 120 Hz. That's pretty awesome. And then we've got another USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port, a micro SD card slot, and a mini display port 1.4. Alright, now let's open this up and take a look at the internals. So here you can see we've got 4 fans. 2 for the CPU and 2 for the GPU. These are our 2 upgradable RAM slots. We chose 2 3466 MHz, 16 GB sticks, which by the way, if you get the X15, your RAM's gonna be soldered on. So if you choose that model, make sure you get a little bit more RAM than you think you're gonna need. Then to the right of that, we've got a removable SSD drive with a slot for 1 more if you want. Then at the bottom, an 87 watt-hour battery, which they claim lasts a while, but we'll see about that in our full review. And then on the sides of that are elongated speakers. All right, let's get this set up.
United States, is that right?
Yes.
Now let's get you connected to a network.
Use your face to sign in faster and more securely. All right, let's set up Windows Hello.
Okay, hold still for a second. We need to learn to recognize you. Want to set up a PIN?
So let's check out the Alienware Command Center. Not too much changed here. Here's our overclock settings, overclock 1, overclock 2, thermal settings, and then you've got your power settings, balanced and high performance. And then for our lighting effects, so we got the per key RGB. Right now we have it set on Rainbow Wave just to show you all the colors, but this is customizable per key. We've got a Knight Rider scanner animation and spectrum, which basically just fades in between the different colors. And then breathing, which just fades on and off one specific color. So not too many animations or customization options, but one thing you can customize now is this touchpad, which can also be Rainbow Wave or Pulse, Spectrum, and apparently the backside Tron bar now has 100 LEDs. So this can actually cycle and morph between different colors as well. And then under Fusion, here's where you can actually customize your different overclock profiles. You can monitor your CPU and GPU temperatures. And then inside Advanced View, you can actually set your power limits and your thermal limits for your GPU. And then in our thermal profiles, we've actually got settings for 4 fans now, which is pretty awesome. 2 fans for the GPU and 2 fans for the CPU, both customizable individually. And then just your power profiles and what those do. And then some customizable audio profile settings. I feel like this is a really awesome laptop so far, but I recommend that you don't buy it until you've watched my full review next week, or at the very least, stopped by for our live benchmarks. A few things I'm disappointed about this machine that my M17 does have. I really wish that there was a USB-A port, at least on one of the sides, and I don't like the fact that there's no number pad, and I don't understand why they've removed backlighting on the secondary keys. For somebody that does a lot of work and editing at night, having those secondary key functions light up at night is a necessity. So we'll see if performance is enough to tip the scales to the point where those dislikes don't really matter that much. But overall, the build quality feels pretty nice. I love the fact that they brought back the RGB touchpad. That was actually one of my disappointments I talked about in my M17 video. So thank you, Alienware. I know you did that just for me. I actually love how beefy this screen is and how sturdy and smooth the hinge feels. It's got vents galore, and with the new Cryotech cooling technology, which enables this computer to push 165 watts maximum graphics power, I'm really excited to test this out. Overall, they've really stepped up this LED lighting. I mean, just look how much better this back ring looks than my M17. It looks like after a year of pushing these LEDs non-stop, that a few of them have actually burnt out on the edges. Let me know in the comments what you think about this machine so far for a chance to win next week's giveaway. Also, make sure to jump on our live benchmarks next week as we run 1080p and 4K tests on a bunch of the latest top games, as well as Geekbench, Cinebench, and 3D Mark. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, and comment, because every week I do a giveaway that randomly selects someone who's interacted with this channel. And the winner this week is...
Loading.
Alright, now here's that gameplay sneak peek.